Dude, you don't need a degree in psychology to know that she's gonna chop your nuts off, dude, in the middle of your sleep. That is insane. Wow, this guy is really... You see that? I called it. She's gonna go into the knife. She's gonna be like... You're gonna wake up and be like... No! What's up, guys? And welcome to Haunted Van Radio. Dun, dun, dun. So, my name's Aaron, and I'm gonna be reading some of the internet's most terrible, horrifying, excruciatingly painful to hear stories. Where's the camera dot? I'm already messing up. Yeah, no, but I wanted to start this podcast because dude, honestly, I love listening to these scary stories as I go to sleep. And then I saw inspiration from Creepcast. I was about to say Papa Meat and Wendy Goon. Honestly, they're pretty cool. I like these stories before I even saw theirs, and then as soon as I started watching their stuff, immediately I started binging everything. Thank God I work at a job where I can listen to headphones, so I'm scared shitless 24/7 at my job. The story I'm going to be reading today is My Wife Won't Stop Sleep Talking. I know for a fact every guy, at least most of them, would be dreading going to sleep if his wife sleep talked every night. It would, like, and most of the time, you know, it's not like, oh, hey, we forgot to go to the grocery store and I forgot to put gas. No, usually it's like the hardcore, like, and you're just there just like, okay, we'll pick up milk in the morning, shit. Unless you're into that kind of thing, you know, then, you know, by all means. But I just want to get straight into it. I'm like really eager to just like read the story and just give my reaction to it. My wife and I moved into our new apartment just a few months ago. Before this, we lived in a large cottage overlooking a beautiful lake. It was my wife's dream home for the 3 years we lived there. We didn't want to leave, but it was a necessary step for us. You see, Jessica and I used to live down south. Everything was going well for a while, but my law firm decided to promote me out of the blue. It was unexpected, but I couldn't have been more grateful. Unfortunately, the job entailed transferring to another one of our many branch locations. The one in question was in New England. Immediately, haunted. Those old wooden crickety houses. I at first, you know what's funny? I thought Amityville Horror was there. I don't even know where it is, but correct me if I'm wrong. I'm pretty sure Amityville Horror was there. If not, Texas, another one of those haunted states. The one in question was in New England. We spoke long and hard on the matter, but eventually, Jess agreed to the move. It's important to note that the dollar doesn't stretch as far up north as it does down south. It's also harder to find employment. That's why we were downgrading our living space. Until Jess could find another job, we would have to suffer. At least, that's the way she looked at it. She's like, lime shrimp cup noodles with eggs again? Bro, honestly, that was like my childhood. Bro, cup noodles aren't that expensive. Eggs, not that bad. Tensions were high the first few weeks after the move. I could tell Jess was irritable. She missed our old house, our old friends, and working a steady job. She had nothing to do with all her free time, so she was bored out of her skull. I've never heard anyone say I'm bored out of my skull. I've been bored out of my mind, but not out of my skull. This led to many fights. For a while, it seemed like we would never settle in. About a month after the move, things started looking up. Jess found temporary work as a part-time editor at the local TV station. She loved the work and couldn't have been happier with her co-workers. I couldn't have been more happier for her. Everything seemed to be fine for a while. Not perfect, but fine. I'm getting real nitpicky right there, huh? It's like, it's not perfect, but it's fine. They only had shrimp cup noodles. They didn't have chili lime shrimp. This was when the sleep talking began. Hell no. So you should have waited for the chili lime shrimp cup noodles. The shrimp ones make you sleep, like, speak in Latin. There's no way. It was to be expected. And honestly, I'm surprised it didn't start up sooner. Did his mom, like, tell him, like, about, like, oh yeah, you should just be, like, aware that, like, you know, she's, like, being haunted runs in our family. You should just expect it any day now. How would he have expected it sooner? You see, my wife is a restless sleeper. Whenever there's a big change in her life, good or bad. It happened when we got married, when we moved into our first home, and when she had the miscarriage. Bomb dropped. Wow. That's really sad. I'll touch more on that later. I like how he tells us that he's gonna, like, touch on it later. I was like, okay, yeah, because I'm eager to know how that ties into now. Maybe it's like the baby that's haunting them or some shit. Like, imagine he's like, oh my gosh, I wonder if it's a spirit. And she's like sleep talking. She's like, goo goo ga ga. He'd be like, it's the ghost of the baby. I'm calling it right now. Just know she sleep talks because I used to bring it up from time to time. I would laugh each morning, recalling the weird things she said the night before, in Latin. This always made her uncomfortable. She seemed to be embarrassed by it. That's why, after her first night of sleep talking in our new apartment, I didn't say anything. What if she just said something, like, super weird? Like, oh, Jaquan, freaking huge. It's way bigger than my husband's, but hurry, we have to get home. The sleep talking went on for a couple weeks. It was at that time that Jess's temp job at the TV station came to an end. Without a job to keep her mind off of things, her nightly outbursts became much worse. She began screaming at odd times during the night, in which I would be forced to calm her down. One night, her screams turned into tears. As she was crying, she said something I'll never forget. I wish you were dead. I knew my wife was asleep, but as I sit there by her side, calming her the best I could, I felt the need to press the matter. You wish who were dead, hun? To my surprise, she responded, you. This caught me off guard. It's a strange thing to want your husband dead, and even stranger while you're asleep. Why? I asked. You're ruining my life. Those 4 words cut deep. Whether they were meant or merely the product of a tired mind, they were the kind of words that demanded self-reflection. I wondered for a moment if I truly was ruining her life, or at least if I were to blame for her night terrors. That's kind of messed up, dude, honestly. Like, you know, you get a promotion, you're trying to feel good about it, you move to the middle of nowhere, you're broke as heck, and then she's like, bro, you're ruining my life. I'm like, thanks. Everyone else said they were happy for me. My wife remained silent for the rest of the night. I know this because I stayed up. Contemplation and worry kept me from a good night's rest. I didn't believe for a second that my wife really wanted me dead, but her late night antics were certainly a cause for concern. Between the screaming episodes and the morbid dialogue, this was the worst her condition had ever been. Immediately, I would not feel comfortable sleeping next to her. I would already be tripped out if she was sleeping, she was talking in her sleep, and then she's like, oh, I want you dead. I wish you were dead. Did she say, I want you dead? Was it? You surprised? She responded, I wish you were dead. Blah, blah, blah. Okay, even still, I would 100% not feel safe. And then I would probably just like be like, kind of like, I mean, if you were to take away the I wish you were dead part and it was just like you're ruining my life, those are like subconscious thoughts. And I know that would hurt. I know that would hurt a lot. And as soon as like she woke up in the morning, I would be like, look, we gotta talk. That's kind of crazy. That is pretty crazy. I'm gonna wake up and she's gonna have like a kitchen knife with like my schmeat. She's like sleep talking. She's like, you're ruining my life. No! The next morning, I came pretty damn close to telling her about what had happened. But I kept thinking about how she'd react and what she'd say. It was too much. I didn't want to burden her any more than I already had. What the... Bro, she said she wanted you dead. I also didn't want to have another fight. In light of this, I kept my mouth shut. Bro, I can already tell. He like... She probably lays hands on him and he's probably like, I'm sorry. The following night, the screams were gone. This was a comfort, but a fleeting one. Out of the blue, just as I was about to shut my eyes and call it a night, the sleep talking commenced again. He's gonna be like, sleep talking, and be like, your dick's small. Sometimes I think about how I do it. I chalked this statement up to pure dream-induced nonsense. But then she continued, while you're asleep in bed, I'll get up and go to the kitchen. Oh, hell no, dude. Honestly, dude, I already saw the next line. I didn't know what she was talking about. But as she kept speaking, it dawned on me. There were some moments of inaudible gibberish. From the bits and pieces that were fluent, I could paint a pretty picture of what she was describing. Reach into, grab knife, over and over again. Blood oozing off the bed. Can't ruin my life anymore. You see that? I called it. She's gonna go into the knife. She's gonna be like, wake up and be like, no! My wife was describing her plan to murder me. As deeply unsettling as this was, understatement, I couldn't help but chuckle to myself. It was just a dream after all, nothing more. I can't say I haven't done some weird things in my own dreams. Haven't we all? Things I would never do in real life. Jess was mad at me over the move, and she was working out her frustrations while she slept. At least, that's what I convinced myself. Dude, how naive do you have to be? Like, she's literally telling you in her sleep what she's gonna do. Like, that's insane. I would immediately start. I would sleep on the couch. I'd put, like, those child locks. I would put child locks on all the drawers in the kitchen. She's like, what's those for? I'm like, nothing. Just when you need a knife or like a fork or a spoon, sign the sheet, like, in the date and time that you took it and then the time you put it back. But also I have to be in the room because I'm the only one with the padlock code. There's no way. The sleep talking continued for weeks. I hope that Jess' midnight venting sessions were doing her some good. But without a degree in psychology, I couldn't be certain. Dude, you don't need a degree in psychology to know that she's gonna chop your nuts off, dude, in the middle of your sleep. That is insane. Wow, this guy is really... Okay. This is like every scary movie where the dad dies first. This is the most annoying first episode of any first episode of any first episode of any first episode. I couldn't be certain. All I could do was listen to her ramble about offing me each night and waiting for her condition to run its course. The longest her sleep talking had ever lasted was a month, so it was safe to say it would be over soon. A month passed, then two. Jess didn't let up. Every night, it was the same routine. Either incoherent nonsense or babblings about how she'd like to hurt me. It was getting old, but one night changed everything. As my wife slept, she uttered some words that tore right through my heart. I lost my baby because of you. My emotions swirled about and formed a sour concoction that rested in the pit of my stomach. This time, I had to know what she meant. What do you mean, hun? I like how he's all like calm about it. What do you mean, hun? Like, hey baby, you know how you've been talking about murdering me in my sleep? and how I'm to blame because, you decided to, eat fast food and Coca-Cola while you were pregnant with our kid, and you're blaming me because, I'm the one with the credit card that paid for it. There was a brief moment of silence, but eventually Jess offered me an answer. There was some gibberish mixed in, Latin, but she was able to get her point across. You made me want kids. You put life in me. Now I'm alone. This struck a nerve and caused a few tears to roll down my cheeks. Now he's crying? Dude, this guy. Bail. It was my idea to have a kid. Jess never wanted children, but she made herself want them from me. That's why after the miscarriage, I was surprised to find her absolutely devastated. I had no clue how much she'd warmed up to the idea of having a baby. My tears were interrupted by more sleep talking of the worst variety. I will kill you. Oh. I will kill you. I promise. Dude! Okay, he's gonna stay. If he dies, I'm not even gonna feel sorry. I can see why these stories are actually kind of annoying, but that was the last thing she said all night. It's been roughly a week since my wife made that promise. As just he's like going to sleep. Hold on, he's like, night, honey. Just like underneath the pillow. He's like, I couldn't do that for a week. There's no way. That was the last thing she said all night. It's been roughly a week since my wife made that promise. As disturbing as that threat was, I could have easily brushed it off with the rest, assuming it too was the product of stress and was nothing for me to worry about. Unfortunately, I can't stop worrying about it. Jess is scaring the crap out of me. I'm now taking short naps and sleeping with one eye open, and it's because of one thing. There's like a million things that's freaking wrong with this story. Now she's sleepwalking. I called it, bro. She's gonna cut his nuts off. That's the end of the story? Oh my gosh, dude. No way. No way. That is insane. He's dead. When was this written? September 11, 2020. That is insane. I don't know how he just like brushing it off. He's like, they're like in bed, and like in the middle of the night, she's like, I'm going to kill you. Make it look like an accident. He's just like, I love you too, honey. She's tripping, dude. Let's see these comments. XX Mocha Nut. XX. Xbox Live. I'm joining her clan. I've been told that I sing short songs in my sleep. The only thing that creeped my family out about it was, and this according to them, that I would sing songs like Daisy Bell and Tiptoe Through the Tulips. Yeah, dude, honestly, it's people that do that, that's insane, because I've heard about people that actually do weird stuff. And it reminds me of Step Brothers, like, like when they put like the pillows and stuff, and then they're like, no, don't wake him, and then they beat the crap out of the stepdad. But like if you sleepwalk and you're like singing nursery rhymes, like like London Bridge is falling down, about like the Black Plague, you gotta seek professional help, and you gotta fix that, because before you know it, you're gonna wake up and you're gonna be wearing like your cat as like a beanie, and then the cops are just gonna be knocking at your door like, yeah, no, we got a call, like, you called like 3 pizza places, and then like all the pizza boys never like came home. And then her only excuse is gonna be like, well, I've been known to sleepwalk. That's incredible. Wow, great story. According to my family, Zelquencia? Wow, great story. According to my family, I talk in my sleep. Although, thankfully, I've never sleepwalked. At least, that's what I've been told. See, and that's the crazy thing too. You don't know if you sleepwalk or you sleep talk. Why is it only you talk and walk? You know? Why is it you never go for a run? Maybe it's because Americans are lazy. Why don't we sleep drive? Why don't we sleep drive? You know what's crazy? A lot of people drive more than they walk. Because most people that work like office jobs, they're sitting most of the time. They're sitting most of the time, and they drive to their job. They gotta commute. So think about it. If you're sitting for most of the day, like an 8-hour shift, and then you're driving, you know, when you're working, you kind of just turn off your brain. You're just kind of like. But then when you're driving, you kind of have to like focus in on that, and like, why don't I ever just like wake up and I'm just like in like the drive-through of like Taco Bell? You know what I mean? Let's see another one. It's the Five Nights at Freddy's song. Was it? I hear the secrets that you keep. Banny, Danny, when you're talking in your sleep. Great pasta. Was it Discordia? The same person? Wow. You know what's funny? I asked my girlfriend not too long ago. I asked, do I snore in my sleep? Like, tell me if I snore in my sleep. She's like, yeah, you do. It wasn't that groundbreaking. Okay. But if she told me, I'm like, oh yeah, you said you wanted to kill me in your sleep. I'm honestly the worst gaslighter. I'd probably be like, well, what did you do? What did you do? Forgot like to put pesto in my sandwich or some shit, you know? The rice is still hard. Like, dude, what did you do? I'll kill you. Wait till I go to sleep. That's so messed up. Oh, hopefully she never watches this. That was My Wife Won't Stop Sleep Talking by Christopher Maxim. Oh, it says right here. Estimated reading time 5 minutes. Wow. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. That was honestly kind of weird, and I don't know why he didn't like say or do anything. It was like one of those things like where like, you know, they have obvious like plot changing evidence, words that could change the outcome, or like, you know, that can like, you know, like that it's one of those things where it has to drive the plot. It has to drive the plot, and it's only for suspense. And I know, see, it got me going. It got me. This story was like, in my opinion, it was okay. It was like a 6 out of 10, but this is like the first time reading creepypasta, so, you know what? I'm like basically like at a 4th grade reading level, and I think it was good, so what does that say about the story? Yeah, that was an okay one. But I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Haunted Van Radio. It's not really radio, but you know, whatever. Later. Click. See, I got this remote, dude. It's ass. Oh, it turns off after a while. Wait, hold on. I'm just gonna do it by the remote.